Hello, Anonymous Andrew, back on YouTube. And of course, this will be a podcast episode. I'm going to start putting YouTube videos together once a week and post them on YouTube, and then I'll be posting them on the podcast. So you can either watch me or listen to me or both. So it is Saturday, August 26th, and it is 5 o'clock. I just finished interviewing somebody, a love coach. I know that I did 60 episodes plus about this last relationship that I was in. I'm tired of it. You're tired of it. We beat it to the ground. I said at the beginning, we're going to do an autopsy on that relationship. What made it? So, what's an autopsy, right? You go in, let's be graphic. They open up the body and they take out the organs and they do a toxicology and they look at the heart and the liver and blah, 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 and find out why this person died. I wanted to do the same thing with this relationship. Put it on a table, open it up, and start looking at all the vital organs that were affected and which ones failed and which ones caused the breakup. And I think I achieved, well, I don't think, I know I achieved that. All right. I have a complete understanding. You know, I spoke about this several months ago that I had come across an email at work from the ex, and the email was sent several days after we broke up. And there was the last time she and I had communicated was through WhatsApp, and there was some nasty text from her, and I just ignored them and blocked and moved on. I just shut communication down. And I got an email from her a couple of days later. Apparently, she wasn't done torturing me, harassing me, or in her whatever she was trying to do, but it was not a very nice email. And I came across it 6 months later, and I brought it up in one of the episodes, and I had said that had I come across that email like in January or February, at the beginning of the podcast, I would have been heavily triggered. When I did come across it, which was like in June of 2023, it did not faze me. Yeah, I read it again. It did trigger me a little bit, but not to the point. But so where I'm going with this is that I came across another email today. Another email account that I have. I don't know, 8 emails account. And there was another one she sent an email to about a month before the breakup. And she broke up with me in that email, but we didn't break up officially. We got back together again, like the 5 times that had happened before. Anyway, the point I'm getting at is that in doing 60 episodes of this autopsy of this relationship, I have done a lot of work. You guys know I'm open and honest and vulnerable. I have been on the dating apps on and off, and I've been talking to some women. And yes, in one of my dating apps profiles, I do say that I'm a podcaster, and that will always, always get their curiosity. I get a lot of swipe rights or likes or messages from women because they see podcaster and they think, oh, this guy might be not famous, but this guy might be famous, or this guy might be somebody, and so it piques their interest. And I found that works against me. and I'll tell you why. It comes up in our chats. So let's say somebody matches with me or they contact me, and whether I like their picture or profile or not, I'm engaging with them for the podcast to have stories, to have practice, talking to women. And anyway, so there was about 3 or 4 women that said, "Hey, I see that you're a podcaster. What's your podcast about?" And not thinking, I told them, I said, it's a podcast about relationships. And they asked, can I listen to it? Part of me said, well, this is free promotion. That's another listener I might get. And I gave them the name of the podcast. Within 2 days, I never heard from them again. Because if you think about it, if you're giving a potential match that you're talking to today and they go listen to this podcast, they're going to hear all about my last relationship and how horrible it was and what I went through and what she did to me. And of course, I take accountability in that. And so naturally, I wouldn't blame any woman to look at that or listen to the podcast and just say, ooh, not for me. So I stopped doing that. If a person asks me about the podcast, but it also works in my favor. If I get a like from somebody and I don't want to pursue them, I don't ghost them, and I acknowledge that. Thank you for the like, or like on Hinge, thank you for the rose. And if they ask me about the podcast, I give it to them, hoping that they'll go away. So it can work for me in my favor if I don't want them. If I no, it's I don't want to date them. I don't want to match with them, but I don't want to tell them that I think they're ugly. I don't think. Let me put that another way. I don't want to tell them that I don't think they're attractive or they're not my type, and so I don't like to ghost. If I don't want to be ghosted, I don't want to ghost somebody or just not be a decent human and respond. If somebody looks at my picture and my profile and they swipe right or hit the button that says like or match or whatever, that's a compliment. Somebody found my profile or my pictures to their liking, so they contacted me. I look at the profile and I don't think it's a match. So I used to just exit out and say, no, thank you. And then I realized that's what's being done to me. If I swipe right on some women and I never hear from them, obviously they're saying no. What I started doing is giving them the name of the podcast, only if they ask. I'm not, what do they say that, I forget the word, shamelessly promoting myself. It's not what I'm on there for. But if they ask and I don't want to pursue this with them, I give them the name of the podcast, hoping they listen to it and then they go away. This week, I was talking to a woman. I've been talking to her for about a week. And if you're listening, she knows who she is. She didn't run from me. So to the woman, because I'm pretty sure she's going to hear this, thank you for not running. I do find you attractive, and I would like to take this to the next level, which would just be a phone call, which I'll probably tell her tonight or tomorrow. Anyway, I just wanted to fill you in. Okay. I did get a new review. And what do I do on my weekend rants? I read new reviews. All right. This one. Now I know that there are 3 or 4 reviews pending. So when you write a review, it doesn't post right away. It's got to go through Apple's verification. They check it out. I think they check it for, I actually don't know what they check it for, but it doesn't appear for 24 to 36, sometimes 48 hours. So since last Sunday, and I think this was done Sunday night because it says Sunday on it. It is from Podcaster Podcast T. So I'm guessing the person has a podcast and listens to podcasts. 5 stars, rough and raw with some insights. First of all, versus everyone else, I hate the intro music. It's grungy and has its place, but not what I want to hear blasting in my ears at the start of a podcast session. I'm going to put a footnote there. That said, this podcast has its charms. Andrew, since the show is anonymous, can reveal the pitfalls of dating as well as his failures at past relationships and sobriety. While you might come for some of the subjects, I think you might tune in to see how Andrew is faring in his weekly rants. So there's more, but I'm going to stop there for a second. Last week and the week before, I read you 2 or 3 or 4 reviews where they loved the music. They loved the grungy music. It's 90s grunge music, the intro. So one person doesn't like it. But again, you like the rants that I do on the weekends, and this is one of them. You like it when I come on and I just talk, all right, from whether the heart, the soul, the brain, whatever. I'm telling you like it is. She goes on to say, Andrew invites some guests and experts speakers. He often lets them do a monologue for 10 or 15 minutes in the interest of getting their stories out. This works less well with experts who, left on their own, will drone on without connection to what the audience is looking for. Check it out and see if it's for you. For me, I'm giving it 5 stars for Andrew's rants, but I will pass on the longer segments. Thank you, podcasty. Again, I'm asking you guys for feedback, and I'm getting it. All right. So one person thumbs down on the music. I got 5 thumbs up on the music. So for now, the music stays. But I do hear you. You don't want. I shouldn't say you don't want. There's too many guests that drone on too long about something, or what they're pitching, and I have cut that out. So and I've said this before, we're going to go down to 1 guest a week, and then my rant on the weekend. So we're going to split it. I got to have guests, people. I got to. Yes, I could come on here twice a week and rant and talk about what's going on in my life. But if I want to fix what's broken in my journey of dating and romantic life, yeah, I could hire a therapist, which I have, and a sponsor and a support group or social people, and talk to them about it. But I come to you guys. I just come out and I talk to you about it. So, and I get feedback on it. You seem to like it. So, and I like doing it. It's a win-win. So yeah, I only got 1 review, but I know there's some more coming. I just know the Apple will tell you that how many reviews I got, but they didn't post them yet. So I think there's like 4 more coming. I'll read them next week. I don't think there's much more. It's the only thing I'm going to say, it's the weekend before Labor Day. I'm not happy that means only technically one more beach weekend. All right, I'm going to the beach tomorrow. It's supposed to be 80 something and nice, so I'm going to head down to the beach. Next weekend's Labor Day. If the weather's nice, we'll do the beach again. My friend that I reconnected with reached out to me. We're gonna maybe she might join me tomorrow, maybe not. I got a book from somebody that contacted me and wants to be on the podcast, but they want me to read the book first. So I have to go down and read. I'm gonna go sit on the beach and read this book. Here, you know what? I might also promote it. I got this book in the mail. The Woman in the Middle, a man's guide to women's treasure, her mind. Okay. So I promised this gentleman that he contacted me and said, if I send you the book and read it, can I come on the podcast and talk about it? So I said to him, as long as it relates to dating, because season 2 is going to be all about dating. So not a very thick book. Actually, it's all of 95 pages. So I will be reading that and interviewing him. You'll hear that sometime in October, probably. I don't know. This you'll hear. These weekend rants go up the day that I do them. The guests that I record sometimes are a month, and I record them today, but they won't go up for a month. Just how it is. What else? I don't have any fire in my belly today. Some of my weekend rants, I go off. Okay, I will tell you one thing. Since you guys like when I'm honest and vulnerable, so that email that I came across today didn't trigger me, but I read it. There was a weekend that she had gone. She told me she was going to her brother's or family's house in Connecticut. Now, we live on Long Island, and they take a boat across the Long Island Sound. I was told that she was going to her brother's house out on Long Island, taking a boat to Connecticut, staying with the family, having some get together and staying the night, and she would be back the following day. And that was that. She called me that night to say goodnight to me, and I could hear. Now, when you talk to somebody in their home 7 nights a week, you know the sounds of their home. Okay. She's got cats, dogs, a washing machine. And in this case, in the summertime, she has her upstairs window open, and I can hear the crickets. Literally, the joke is crickets, like silence. I could hear crickets chirping in the background. She called me that night to say goodnight, and I'm hearing crickets in the background. So I said to her, "Are you in Connecticut?" And there was a pause, and she said, "Yeah, that's where I am. I told you I was going to my family's gathering." And I said, "Okay," because I'm hearing the crickets. And I said, "Well, all right. Are crickets in only one neighborhood? No, they're everywhere. So maybe she's outside in Connecticut." But my intuition told me that she's lying to me. Yes, I got into my car and I drove up to her house at 9 o'clock at night. And sure enough, her car was in the driveway, which should have been out on Long Island at the marina where they took the boat. Because she drove herself there, or at least that's what she told me. I didn't call her out on the lie that I caught her until the following week. And that's when she got angry. When you lie to somebody and you get caught, many times people will double down on it. in this case, I shouldn't say many people. Some people double down on the lie. Some people will, if they got caught. In this case, she knew that she was caught. I should almost read you the email. She writes this long thing about why she lied to me. She says, "Yes, I lied to you." And then she goes on for about a paragraph to explain to me why she lied to me. And none of it made sense. And then she went on some more to tell me about why she wants out of the relationship. I can't have any personal time. You're always questioning. You're always paranoid. Well, I have a reason to be questioning and paranoid because you're lying to me all the time. And then when you gaslight me and tell me that I'm crazy and I'm paranoid, but then I catch you in the lie. So I really don't want to go off on this because when I go off on the tangent, then it gets ugly, and then I start dropping the F-bombs, and we're not going to do that today. Anyway, the point is that I didn't get triggered. Although I looked at it and I had to remind myself, this is the gaslighting. All right. Because she goes on to say, you're paranoid and you're crazy and blah, blah, blah. But it made no sense because she was admitting that she lied to me. So anyway, it just was a nice reminder. What's just interesting is that these emails, I'm not looking for these emails, people. I don't go into my email when you have 4,000 emails and type in her name. If I did that, 50 would come up. I woke up this morning and I checked my mail, and for some reason that email was sitting there, and that was from September of 2022. So something on my desk scrolled the email down to last year. I don't know if I put something on the keyboard, but it's interesting that this email and the one that happened back in July that just appeared on my desktop, when I woke the computer up and there was the email. Is that the universe testing me? I don't know. It's weird. I don't get it. I just looked at myself and I realized how red my face is. Yes, I was out in the sun today. I didn't go to the beach, but I was riding my bike and playing tennis, so I got a little red in the face. So, all right, you know what? I'm starving. I'm gonna go make something to eat and climb into bed. And yes, Saturday night, I'm gonna climb into bed. I don't have a date, and I have nowhere to go, and that's okay because I'm actually got plenty of podcast work to do. I got a lot of work to do. And I'm going to the beach tomorrow. So, all right, folks. Ciao. Listen, if you're going to make a choice, I urge you to choose wisely. I do have another story to tell you. Maybe I'll tell you that next weekend. Yeah, because I'm already signing off. Too long. Anonymous Andrew. Check me out. All platforms: Apple, Spotify, Pandora, iHeart, Amazon, Google, all of them. All right. Check me out. And now on YouTube, I'm going to start posting these every weekend. So, ciao.